Most disasters get remembered. They get monuments, documentaries, anniversaries. Some don't. Some killed thousands. Some killed nearly 250,000 people. And almost no one knows their names. These are 7 of them. Number 7, the Boston Molasses Flood, January 1919. In Boston's North End, a steel tank held 2.3 million gallons of industrial molasses for making rum and weapons. On a warm January afternoon, the tank failed. The rivets popped like gunfire. A wave of dark molasses, 25 feet high, rolled through the streets at 35 miles per hour. The molasses tore buildings off their foundations. It bent steel railroad tracks. It crushed people in their homes. 21 people died. 150 were injured. The cleanup took 87,000 man-hours. Boston residents say that on hot summer days, the North End still faintly smells of molasses, a century later. Number 6, the London Beer Flood, October 1814. Inside the Moo Brewery near Tottenham Court Road stood a wooden vat 22 feet high, holding 320,000 gallons of dark porter beer. On October 17th, one of the iron hoops snapped. An hour later, the entire vat exploded outward. The pressure broke neighboring vats in a chain reaction. Suddenly, the brewery walls collapsed, and a wave of beer poured into the slums of St. Giles. St. Giles was one of the poorest neighborhoods in London. Houses there had basements where entire families lived in single rooms. The beer flooded the basements. 8 people drowned. One was a 4-year-old girl. Another was a mother attending a funeral wake in her own home. The brewery was found not liable. The court ruled it was an act of God. Number 5, the Aberfan Disaster, Wales, October 21, 1966. For decades, the National Coal Board had piled mining waste on the steep mountain above the village. By 1966, the pile was over 111 feet tall. Heavy rain that autumn had turned the inside of the pile to liquid slurry. Engineers had warned for years. Nothing was done. On Friday morning, October 21st, the children of Banqiao Junior School were in their first lesson of the day. At 9:15, the saturated mountain collapsed. A wave of black slurry 40 feet high came down the slope. It hit the school directly. 116 children died. 28 adults died with them. Aberfan lost half a generation in 5 minutes. The official inquiry blamed the National Coal Board. No one was prosecuted, no one resigned. Number 4, Lake Nyos, Cameroon, August 21, 1986. Lake Nyos is a crater lake in northwest Cameroon. It sits above an ancient pocket of volcanic magma. For decades, that magma had been seeping carbon dioxide into the deepest layers of the lake. The cold, deep water held the CO2 dissolved under pressure, like a closed bottle of soda, slowly filling. On the night of August 21st, something, most likely a small landslide, disturbed the surface of the lake. The bottle opened. 1.6 million tons of CO2 erupted from the lake in 80 seconds. CO2 is heavier than air. It flowed downhill, an invisible silent wave, into the surrounding valleys. 1,700 people died in their sleep. 3,500 animals died with them. Survivors woke to find their families dead, with no visible injury. Today, a long pipe vents gas slowly from the bottom of the lake. The same kind of disaster could happen again, at any one of dozens of similar lakes around the world. Number 3, the Halifax Explosion, December 6, 1917. The SS Mont Blanc was loaded with 2,900 tons of high explosives bound for the war in Europe. TNT, picric acid, and benzol stacked on the deck. In the narrow channel of Halifax Harbor, the Mont Blanc collided with another ship. A small fire broke out on the deck. The crew abandoned ship. The burning Mont Blanc drifted toward the docks of Halifax. Hundreds of curious people gathered at windows to watch the fire. At 9:05, the cargo detonated. It was the largest man-made explosion in human history until the atomic bomb. 1,782 people were killed instantly. 9,000 were wounded. The entire north end of Halifax was flattened. A blizzard struck that same night. Thousands of survivors lay buried under the snow and the rubble. To this day, Halifax sends Boston a Christmas tree every year in thanks for the relief that arrived from the United States. Number 2, Bhopal, India, the night of December 2nd, 1984. The Union Carbide pesticide plant in Bhopal stored 40 tons of methyl isocyanate. a chemical so toxic it had no industrial limit because no one ever expected a release. Safety systems had been disabled to save money. Refrigeration off, vent scrubber dead, flare tower under repair, cost cutting in a plant full of poison. Just after midnight, water entered tank 610. The chemical reaction generated heat. Pressure climbed. The relief valve blew. The wind carried the gas cloud directly into the slums where 500,000 people lived. They woke up choking, blind, lungs burning. Within hours, 3,000 were dead. Within weeks, the toll would rise above 8,000. The total death count is still disputed today. Estimates range from 16,000 to over 30,000. The site remains contaminated 40 years later. Children in Bhopal are still born with birth defects from the groundwater. No Union Carbide executive ever stood trial. Number 1, the Banqiao Dam Failure, Henan Province, China, August 1975. The Banqiao Dam was built to hold back the Ru River in central China. It was designed to survive a 1 in 1,000 year flood. In August 1975, it met 1 in 2,000. Typhoon Nina dropped 64 inches of rain on the Henan Basin in 24 hours, a year of rainfall in a single day. On the night of August 8th, the Banqiao Dam was overtopped. Water poured over the crest. The structure failed at midnight. What followed was a chain reaction. The flood wave from Banqiao broke 62 more dams downstream. Each failure released more water onto the next. The final flood wave was 6 kilometers wide and 10 meters tall. It hit the lowland villages at 50 kilometers per hour. 26,000 people drowned in the first night. In the weeks afterward, another 145,000 died from disease and famine. The total death toll reached nearly 250,000. The Chinese government classified the entire event for over 30 years. Until 2005, almost no one outside of Henan knew it had happened. The deadliest dam disaster in human history, forgotten on purpose. 7 disasters, each killed thousands, each almost forgotten. There are dozens more. Subscribe if you want the rest.